standing firm against family drama. Serenity confronts her granddad, old Mr. Hunt, and firmly asserts that her sister's affairs are none of his business. She refuses to reconcile with the family unless they issue a public apology on Twitter and return their good name. Despite old Mr. Hunt's disrespectful remarks and unwillingness to comply with her request, Serenity stands her ground. Zachary, witnessing the confrontation, expresses his disgust towards old Mr. Hunt's behavior and defends Serenity, stating that he married her to love and spoil her, not to pick on her. Serenity threatens to drive her granddad out with a broom if he doesn't leave voluntarily. The family's actions and words continue to show no remorse, blaming Serenity for their recent misfortunes and shamelessly visiting her shop. John, one of Serenity's cousins, tries to mediate by claiming that they are there to teach Liberty's husband a lesson and save her marriage. He emphasizes their role as family in supporting Serenity and her sister. However, Serenity dismisses their offer of help, believing they will only come back to her for support when they face difficulties themselves. Old Mr. Hunt, feeling frustrated and having already used the money from the Browns for his wife's medical bills, decides to leave with his grandsons. The Hunts make their exit, leaving everyone feeling unresolved and mourning wasted. However, since old Mrs. Hunt's medical debt is already paid, they no longer hassle Serenity and Liberty for money. Jasmine expresses her astonishment at the shamelessness of the Hunts, and Grandma May confirms that she has never come across such brazen individuals in her lifetime. Despite the family's audacity, Serenity and her sister stand strong and refuse to be taken advantage of by their ridiculous relatives. Serenity and Jasmine discuss the Hunts' involvement in Liberty's divorce and speculate about the money Mrs. Brown might have given to old Mr. Hunt. Serenity reveals that Liberty and Hank restructured the divorce terms, and Hank is now required to give Liberty over $1 million. Serenity believes that Mrs. Brown tried to get Granddad to talk to them because she couldn't part with the money, but it was a futile attempt. With the Hunts gone, Serenity urges Zachary to go back to work. She handles most of the tasks at the shop and doesn't need much help from him. Zachary makes a call to Jim, instructing him to gather tools and assist in moving out and demolishing a house on Bright Boulevard. Zachary tells Jim that he can stay out of it, but Jim insists on participating, as home demolition is his thing. After some playful banter, they ended the call. Later in the afternoon, Liberty drops off her son, Sonny, at the shop and asks Serenity to look after him. Serenity offers to accompany Liberty to her meeting with Hank, but Liberty declines, stating that Hank has convinced his parents and they are meeting at the agreed time and place. Liberty is confident that the divorce will proceed as planned and finds amusement in the fact that her mother-in-law trusted Serenity's relatives and will lose money as a result. Serenity and Liberty discuss the ongoing divorce proceedings. Liberty informs Serenity that she has found a suitable place to rent and plans to move there once the divorce is finalized. Serenity insists on accompanying Liberty to the bank to meet Hank and ensure her safety during the transaction. Grandma May supports Serenity's decision and urges Liberty to accept her sister's help. Meanwhile, the lobby manager of Wiltspoon Hotel, Mr. Zen, arrives at the shop with packed dishes ordered by Zachary. He presents the food to Serenity, expressing his willingness to assist Zachary in any way possible. Serenity thanks him and walks him out, taking the opportunity to send a grateful message to Zachary, who appreciates her thoughtfulness. During lunch, Serenity reveals her plan to hire a team of strong men to wait outside Liberty's residential building once the divorce papers are finalized. These men will assist in moving Liberty out and demolishing any renovations made during her marriage. Liberty expresses her relief, as she was initially worried about finding people for the task. Jasmine suggests calling her cousins for additional help and playfully mentions that Elisa, their mutual friend, might feel left out and scold them for excluding her from the fun. Serenity and Liberty gather with Grandma May and Jasmine to enjoy the food Zachary had specially delivered. They discuss the plan to hire a team of professionals to assist with the move and demolition after Liberty's divorce is finalized. Jasmine offers to call her cousin who works in construction to provide the workers for the task. Liberty expresses her gratitude to Jasmine for her unwavering support throughout the difficult process. During the meal, Liberty's phone rings, and she sees that it's Chelsea calling. Serenity advises her to ignore the call, as Chelsea has a history of stirring up trouble and meddling in her brother's marriage. Chelsea had been pushing for Liberty and Hank's divorce, and Serenity holds a low opinion of her. Serenity playfully wonders how Jessica, Hank's new love interest, would get along with Hank's sister and their parents. She questions whether Jessica would be able to tolerate the financial and time assistance given to Hank's sister by his parents. After lunch, Serenity drives Liberty to the bank to meet Hank and complete the necessary paperwork. Liberty double-checks that she has all the required documents. Despite the call from Chelsea, Liberty remains focused on finalizing the divorce and moving on with her life. Although Chelsea had been married for over a decade, she often meddled in her brother's marital affairs. Chelsea often badmouthed her sister-in-law. Now Chelsea got her wish and pushed her brother and sister-in-law into getting a divorce. It was anyone's bad luck to get a sister-in-law like Chelsea. It would take a person more preposterous than Chelsea to hold her down. Unable to keep her laughter within, Serenity asked Liberty, "Do you think Jessica would get along with Hank's sister after marrying into the family? Can she tolerate his parents helping his sister financially and time-wise?" Liberty brushes off the idea of whether Jessica and the Browns will get along after the divorce, stating that she wants nothing to do with Hank anymore. Serenity shares her anticipation of the Browns facing difficulties with Jessica and hopes that Jessica will give Chelsea a hard time. Chelsea tries to contact Liberty, but Liberty ignores her call and deletes her text message. She blocks Chelsea's number and refuses to accept any more communication from her. Liberty is eager for Chelsea to be out of her life once the divorce is finalized. Serenity receives a call from Zachary, and she puts it on speakerphone. Serenity realizes that Zachary has called her honey again, a term he used earlier in the morning, but she didn't respond at the time. Serenity is relieved that her sister doesn't react to it, assuming it's a common thing for couples to use endearing nicknames. Zachary informs Serenity that he has arranged for a team of professionals to help with the house demolition. Jasmine has also called her cousin, who works in construction, to provide additional workers. Serenity assures Zachary that they have enough help for now and emphasizes the need for speed to prevent Hank from finding out and causing trouble. Serenity imagines Hank's shock when he returns home to find his house demolished. She finds satisfaction in taking up Hank's challenge and refuses to let him belittle her sister. Zachary considers arranging more people for the job but decides they have enough help already. Serenity tells Zachary that they are good for now and suggests he focus on his work. She invites him to help them tidy up Liberty's new place if he doesn't have any other plans. Serenity finds amusement in ordering the great Mr. York around like a cleaner. Liberty's talking over the phone with her brother-in-law, Zachary. He offers his assistance and tells her that he will come over after work. Liberty expresses her gratitude and acknowledges that she wouldn't have been able to reach a peaceful divorce agreement with Hank without the support of her sister and brother-in-law. They have been standing by her side throughout the process. Liberty thanks Zachary again, and he responds by saying that they are family and there is no need for gratitude. Liberty jokingly tells her sister, Serenity, that she always says the same thing about Zachary being a good man. They laugh, as it has become a habit for Liberty to express her appreciation for him. Shortly after, Liberty and Serenity arrive at the bank where Hank and his parents are waiting. Chelsea, Hank's sister, is not present, possibly due to work commitments. Olivia, Hank's mother, greets Liberty with smiles and treats her as if she is already a part of their family. She takes Liberty's hand and pleads with her to call off the divorce. Olivia acknowledges past mistakes and promises to support Liberty, even going as far as saying she would break Hank's legs if he mistreated her. She urges Liberty to reconsider, emphasizing the long history and past good treatment between Hank and her. Olivia claims that Hank was tricked by another woman, Yates, and she has already ordered him to end the relationship. She asks Liberty to forgive Hank for the sake of their son, Sonny, and not go through with the divorce. However, Liberty remains calm and resolute. She addresses Olivia as Mrs. Brown, a sign of the impending divorce, and explains that there is no turning back. Liberty firmly believes that Hank's actions have determined the outcome of their relationship. Olivia becomes emotional and pleads with Serenity to persuade her sister. She expresses concern about Sonny growing up in a single-parent family. Liberty reassures Olivia that Sonny is her son and that she is fully capable of providing for him and ensuring his well-being in a single-parent family. She promises not to tarnish Olivia's image in front of Sonny and states that she will not speak ill of Hank in front of their child. Liberty believes it is unnecessary to involve their children in their conflicts. Olivia continues to appeal to Serenity, urging her to convince Liberty not to go through with the divorce. However, Serenity respects her sister's choice and tells Olivia that she supports Liberty's decision. Serenity perceives Olivia's regret as being more about the financial implications of the divorce, as Liberty will receive a significant amount of money from the division of assets. Serenity understands that Olivia is unwilling to part with that money. Serenity couldn't help but speculate on the amount Olivia had given to old Mr. Hunt to persuade him to stop the divorce. She suspected it must have been a significant sum, perhaps in the range of $30,000 to $50,000. Serenity couldn't help but feel a sense of wicked satisfaction at the thought of Olivia eventually realizing that she had been deceived and demanding the money back from old Mr. Hunt. Serenity wondered if Zachary would disapprove of her growing cynicism. In the midst of Serenity's thoughts, Hank approached and pulled his mother away, instructing his father to take care of her. Olivia resisted, but soon she clung to Hank's arm, blaming him for tearing their once happy family apart. She sat on the floor, pounding the ground, and crying out in anguish. Hank felt embarrassed by his mother's behavior and wore a troubled expression on his face. Mr. Brown intervened, gently lifting Olivia from the floor and trying to calm her down. He approached Liberty, who watched the scene unfold with an air of indifference. Mr. Brown apologized to Liberty on behalf of himself and his wife, expressing remorse for the situation. Liberty remained silent, unaffected by their words. She was resolute in her decision to end her marriage with Hank and start a new life. Liberty led the way into the bank, followed closely by Hank. As they entered, Mr. and Mrs. Brown joined them. Although the money involved in the divorce belonged to Hank, the bank account was under Mr. Brown's name, so he had to sign the necessary documents. Olivia continued to pressure her husband not to sign, hoping to delay the process as much as possible. However, Mr. Brown ignored her pleas, recognizing that there was no turning back now. Any further delays could potentially harm their son's future. After Mr. Brown signed the papers, the agreed-upon amount of $1.18 million was deposited into Liberty's bank account. Hank then turned his attention to child support payments. Since it was nearly New Year's, he decided to transfer the payment for the upcoming year in advance. Hank transferred a sum of $36,000 to Liberty, ensuring that she would have the financial support she needed to care for their child. Liberty hadn't expected him to fulfill his obligations so easily, but she appreciated the gesture. She knew that many divorced fathers made promises of child support during the divorce proceedings but later reneged on their commitments. Hank's willingness to fulfill his responsibilities was a relief to Liberty and set him apart from those who neglected their obligations to their children. As Liberty reflected on the issue of child support, she acknowledged that there were many fathers who prioritized their next family over their own children from previous relationships. She was grateful that Hank was at least willing to provide financial support for their child, giving her peace of mind and assurance for their future. Liberty and Hank proceed with the formalities of their divorce at City Hall. Liberty reiterates her promise to Jessica that she will not use Sonny as a tool to harm their relationship. Hank, understanding the situation, agrees to the arrangement. They travel separately to City Hall, with Liberty riding with her sister, Serenity, and Hank accompanying his parents in their car. During the car ride, Olivia, Hank's mother, becomes emotional and sheds some tears, lamenting the breakdown of their family. However, she quickly composes herself, realizing that there is no turning back at this point. Olivia instructs Hank to inform Liberty to pack her belongings and move out immediately after the divorce is finalized. She plans for her and Hank's father to move in with Hank and for the entire family to spend New Year's together. Olivia suggests that Jessica join them and assist with cooking during the celebrations. Hank agrees to his parents' requests, wanting to ease their heartache caused by his decision to divorce Liberty. He envisions a peaceful and joyous time ahead with Jessica, relishing the idea of living in their newly acquired home together. He assures Jessica over a phone call that the formalities are underway and promises to help her move her belongings in the evening. Hank's father, curious about Hank's intentions, discreetly asks if he plans to marry Jessica. Hank confirms his love for Jessica and expresses his commitment to marry her once he is officially single again. He suggests arranging a meeting between their families to discuss wedding plans and shares his desire to fulfill Jessica's dream of a flamboyant wedding. Olivia, however, proposes a simpler option of obtaining a marriage license at City Hall, believing that it would suffice. Hank, wanting to fulfill Jessica's wishes, insists on giving her the grand wedding she desires, as he believes a girl should have the opportunity to wear a wedding dress only once in her life. Olivia expressed her reluctance for Hank to have an extravagant wedding with Jessica, as she believed it would cost a lot of money. Hank assured her that he would cover the expenses himself and that they wouldn't need financial assistance. Olivia, however, still felt hesitant and regretful about the money she had given to the Hunt family in an attempt to prevent the divorce. She planned to ask for the money back once Hank's divorce was finalized. The family arrived at City Hall, and Hank and Liberty proceeded with the divorce formalities without any quarrels. They had all the necessary documents and were quickly attended to by the officers. Serenity and Hank's parents waited nearby, noticing the long line of couples waiting to process their divorce papers. After receiving the divorce certificate, Liberty called out to her sister to leave. At the entrance, Hank approached Liberty and extended his hand, expressing his wishes for her future happiness. Liberty accepted the handshake and returned the well wishes. Hank acknowledged his wrongdoings and apologized for hurting her deeply. Liberty, feeling a sense of relief that he had allowed the divorce, smiled and forgave him. Olivia reminded Liberty to move out of Hank's house since the divorce was finalized, and she mentioned that they would be moving in the next day. Liberty casually mentioned that she had already packed her and Sonny's belongings and planned to take them along with the renovation fee she had paid. Olivia responded coldly, indicating that she didn't care about Liberty's intentions. Unbeknownst to Olivia, Liberty had more than just household appliances in mind for her departure. Olivia, Hank's mother, expresses her concern that Liberty may take appliances that they had purchased together during their marriage. Liberty reassures her that she will only take what rightfully belongs to her and invites Olivia to check if anything of hers is missing. Despite Liberty's assurance, Olivia remains skeptical and snorts coldly before falling silent. Meanwhile, Hank receives a phone call from his boss, which seems to bring him distress. He answers the call and engages in a subdued conversation, indicating that there may be issues with his work. This observation doesn't go unnoticed by Serenity, Liberty's sister, who speculates that Hank's recent struggles may be a result of losing Liberty's positive influence on his life. Serenity hopes that Hank's career will decline without Liberty's support, suggesting that her contribution as a homemaker played a significant role in his success. Liberty, however, remains indifferent to Hank's professional struggles, stating that she no longer cares about his work. She emphasizes that she has obtained her share of the assets in the divorce settlement, and that is what matters to her. The conversation then shifts to a friend of Zachary's who assisted Liberty in collecting evidence for the divorce. Serenity suggests inviting this helpful friend to dinner as a gesture of gratitude for their assistance. She mentions that she has already informed Zachary about the dinner invitation, implying that the arrangements are in progress. Later, as the sisters return to Bright Boulevard, they are greeted by a group of people holding home demolition tools at the entrance of the community. These individuals, along with Jasmine and Grandma May, have been arranged by Zachary to assist with the planned demolition of Liberty's former home. Jasmine attempts to convince Grandma May, an elderly woman, to stay in the shop and take care of Sonny, Liberty's son. However, Grandma May insists on being involved, asserting that despite her age, she can be the commander-in-chief and ensure the demolition proceeds smoothly. Although amused by Grandma May's determination, Jasmine is unable to dissuade her, so she decides to bring the elderly woman along. In the interest of protecting Sonny from any further emotional distress, they choose not to let him witness the demolition and leave Mrs. Lane, who works in the shop, to look after him. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel, The Voice Novel, and select all from the notification bell, so you will get notified whenever a new video is uploaded. Thank you.